initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
You underestimated your child.
I don't want to boast, but they're figuring on making me the president because I have went out and used my ambition to prove that there's power in the art of doing nothing. And now, the reason why I show you, see, when I was a little boy, I always did want to be something, but I never did want to do nothing to be it. And I used to go around, though, trying to get a job, doing nothing, but everywhere I went, they either wanted you to do something or else they didn't want to give you nothing for it. Till I just kept on and wouldn't give up. And one day I seen some men making some moving pictures, and I said, "Mister, you want a man to do nothing?" And so they said yes, and I've been working ever since. I done worked myself up now to the place where the less I do, the more I make, and I'm trying to figure how to make as much as I can so when I get old I can rest sure enough.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, man. It is the initiates for the flame. Here with another video. Here with episode 3 of Lunar Conversations. I'm the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com, columbianexchange.com, whiterabbitpsych.com. It's still Monday, so still get your 25% off. Promo code 25 off before it hit 12 a.m. But tap in. Join the Discord. Have AD explain more about what Lunar Conversations is and how it can help you along your spiritual journey. But yeah, man, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Peace to the tribe. Welcome to tonight. You already know what we got going. EP3. And to get at me, hit me up, AD_Senpai33. Right there on the screen where you can see it. And you already know how we turn into our flame. Flame on like we... Nah, I can't remember his name. What's his name? Chris something? Oh, well. Handsome white guy that played Fantastic Four Flame on. I can't remember his name now.
Chris Evans?
Yeah, Chris Evans, yeah. Flame on like Chris Evans.
Oh, shit. Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent. I am just a glorified intern on Lunar Tuesday Conversations, Lunar Monday Conversations. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. FlameOn.shop, get your new tropics. Every 2 bottles, get your third bottle 30% off. And we're right around the corner from that moringa powder, as well as the new lines we have coming up and that ebook. Look out for that ebook within the next week.
Ashe. So when it comes to Lunar Conversations, I want us all to really focus on our mindset towards the moon, because reason why these Lunar Conversations are so important and why we need to start here on a daily Monday basis. One, Monday means moon, Monday, month, right? Goes into all that correlation. But in sidereal astrology, the main focus that we always follow is the moon, right? In Western astrology, the focus is prioritized on the sun. But understanding how we truly feel through the moon, tracking it where it is, understand our psychological awareness is the key of the lunar conversations. So us coming together, right? And it's not coming from a point of, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a Virgo, I'm all that. Of course you're gonna have those conversations, but it's really creating a place where we all learn astrology, starting off with the moon, which is very basic, very simple, and it's something that is really deep and really important because most people don't really understand how being emotionally intelligent and being aware of your emotions is just a pivotal thing in your spiritual journey. Because if you're not aware of your emotions and all these things that contribute to your mind, you're going to be easily impressionable. You're going to be easily swayed, easily distracted. So here on these Mondays, we're here to teach you how to work with your moon. We're here to have conversations about the moon, understand the phases, understand them through practical uses. So when we're setting these new moon intentions all the way down to the full moon again and restarting, we know the process and we know how to do it from a ritual point and a mundane standpoint in our lives. Anything you gentlemen want to add on to that? I feel like I missed because I want us to really clear confusion around lunar conversations so everyone can be very open to talk about it, ask questions, bring their research, topics about the moon, mythologies, crazy and deep stories about the moon, even movies on the moon, like that talks about the symbology and why they probably want to destroy it, why the moon is something that's scary to others. Getting that topic will really open up a deep pivotal point in our spiritual journey.
Yeah, make me think about Teen Wolf. Make me think about just full moons in general. And then just like what is the moon? It's a lot of like fake news about the moon, right? They say, I'll just show you real quick and tell me how this makes sense. How far can the human eye see? So up to 3 miles. On a clear day, you can see up to 3 miles. Right? You see that? How far is the moon from Earth? Can y'all make that make sense?
Yeah, nah, that's very confusing and tricky. And then this creates all them conversation. Everybody be like, "See, I told you she fake, and you be doing that astrology shit."
So yeah, it's a lot of fake news in reference to the moon, but it's also connected to a woman's ovaries and a man's sperm. And if that don't make sense, you're gonna have most of your babies and most of the sex at night, not in the daytime. So a girl might not even talk to you in the daytime. They'll be doing some wild and nasty stuff to you at night. That's the power of the moon. Working with the moon, magic, ritual, help you get things manifested in this life. Like you could make money at night just programming the moon, working with the moon. At first, I would hear about this type of stuff. Then I just started to do it and it worked. So don't get too down on yourself. Start working with that motherfucking moon.
Yeah, just taking your time with is the key. That's why I like the little conversations in here because it's building that consistency of showing up because it's hard. Of course, it's hard to like learn about all the astrology information about the moon, But if you just came here every day with us and then on your own too, just learning small things time for time, you'll be talking to people like, oh, this and this and that. And they'll be like, damn, how you know all that? Where you get this from? And you just, oh, I just read this book. And people are gonna have like a more sincere, because when we think about it, the moon is in Scorpio right now. And when we think about Scorpio, that's our deep occult information, our depthness to ourselves, right? An aspect of it. So when we get into deep information like that, especially about the moon, and you showing people, you're going to open up an aspect in them that's going to cause them to be curious, especially when you're not even trying to convince people to get about the moon and like learn about astrology. You're just talking about it. When they ask about your week, they're going to be like, damn, how do you be doing this? Every Monday. And, I come here, I do this with this group in my Discord. We got, that's how you just like make friends and shit and connect with people without trying to like, you should be doing this with me. If people ask and get to know you, that's like a deep aspect of like you opening up and learning. And just not also, occultness, occult information that goes with the moon and Scorpio. You got sex, you got your intimacy, you got also like loans and property, joint ventures, and we got to think about that mysterious aspect to Scorpio that we always forget. You know what I'm saying? And like, we got to think about how the deacons in Scorpio also speak, because these deacons are also water, which connect to cups. And cups are our emotional aspect of ourselves when it comes to tarot. So we got the 5 of cups, the 6 of cups, and 7 of cups. And the 7 of cups is where the moon is at, right next to Venus of this conjunction. So most of this energy of these cards is kind of like, you got 5 of cups that deals with the strife. You got the 6 of cups that deals with the pleasure. And then the 7 of cups that deals with debauchery. And all these subtle things that bring you in a state of consciousness of your state of being. So right now with this Venus conjunct the moon, especially on this deacon of Scorpio, you probably want to enjoy yourself, have a great time, probably go see people, connect. But also there's this thing of indulgence that's going to be there on your mind. And I feel like when we get these aspects or deacons or tarot cards that have negative connotations, we tend to get tricked out of it and think, oh, great, this is in my mind, or I'm depressed. And it can lead to those type of things, but it's also seeing the aspect on the other side of the duality of the card by learning like, okay, if I'm in depression or I'm dealing with laziness or slothfulness, what kills that? Ambition. And then if you have laziness, your ambition is going to get killed. So you have to realize subtle ways in your actions to change that. Am I making sense, or am I just like, just talking hood? Because it's like understanding how these things correspond is going to help you like create the information and reason around the astrology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just factoring in like the phase of the moon and what energy is the moon coming off of, where we had like this very powerful new moon where a lot of shifts and changes took place in the world. Now dealing with uh not a quarter moon quite yet, but more of like a waxing gibbous moon. It's just like reminding and reiterating what your intention is, and not getting so caught up in the opposition to the moon, which is Jupiter, and the sign of failure. So the real key to this energy to me is being able to learn from failure, learning from your mistakes, any type of aches and pains, any type of lows on finances, not being able to have a girlfriend or boyfriend, like whatever you're a loser at, like really look at that and make some changes, or else you'll be in a more of a position where the reality is beating your ass, but the reality can always be changed. So when you look at the Seven of Cups, it's debauchery in the Thoth Tarot deck, but if you look at it in the Rider Waite deck, it's like possibilities. It's a man standing in front of like this cloud with a whole bunch of different possibilities, and you can't choose everything, but you can actually focus. And so, what's failure? You're gonna fail at the things that you can't focus on, right? Debauchery, and of course, you should accept that, because you can also succeed in the thing that you can focus in.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's forgetting about the aspects of Venus too is the Luciferian aspects, but those things are not talked about in astrology because Venus is so catered to like Aphrodite aspects and love and relationships, and certain parts of Taurus and Libra aspects. So
I
I feel
mean,
like
you got to look at it more maturely than the planet of love, the planet of romance, the planet of beauty, because half of y'all just be looking halfway decent anyway. So we can't just get caught up in how motherfuckers be looking or falling in love. It's more centered in wisdom and how that wisdom lands. Because Venus, early in our lives, like I've been having a lot of conversations with dads and their sons and how they don't be listening. Just don't listen. You can give your son good advice, but he not gonna listen at a certain point. Just not gonna listen. And then when they get 28, they be like, "Yeah, Dad, I want to soak up all your wisdom." He's like, "Where the fuck this nigga come from? You want to crash out your whole life, and then you want to have a severe change and want to, yeah, Dad, I appreciate you, Dad, and all this weird shit." And it's like, come on, man, that's Venus for you. The wisdom is always there, but are you receptive to it? This is real key because it's transformation in place. It's ways to make money. It's ways to get in relationships. There's ways to do everything you want to do. Are you open to receive it? Are you willing to do the scorpionic, deep, introspective, occult work to get it popping? Venus is opposed Jupiter. So what does this look like for you?
really getting caught up in the scenery too.
Gotta scope the scene.
Break down my moon being in Cancer.
Far as a water sign and moon being in Cancer is just a connection to connection to the mother, connection to the divine feminine, connection to the home, and just kind of like these types of, depending on the house, you just more centered in, you know, pleasing the woman. And, with all moon signs, it's a waxing phase and it's a waning phase. So whenever you in the waxing phase, it's all good. When it's in the waning phase, you got to learn how to like really more or less adapt to that, because a strong Cancer moon is in reference to being able to be wealthy. So what is wealth a lot of times? It's for women. So you can take care of a woman, you know what I mean? So it's like just understanding that about yourself, your emotional strength. Ain't nothing wrong with it because it's a gajillion of men taking care of women.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dudes do that. That's
Mm-hmm.
really normal. So it's like just stepping into that energy, but it's all related to your house and then other aspects related to it.
Yeah, because the house is going to determine the ruler and how the planet really gonna like feel in a way.
All right, so Scorpio is in my 12th house. Cancer is in my 8th house.
That means you really got this conjunction happening in your 8th house under Cancer.
Yeah, it says emotional depth and transformations, inheritance, and shared resources.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
When you look at 12th house, that's your humanitarian house. Scorpio being in your humanitarian house is certain ways for which you're going to connect to women that's going to feel almost outside of normal. So your biggest thing with that is having normal relationships. You ain't going to really do right in those types of relationships, but of
So is that what it means when it says it deepens the hidden, secretive, and possibly transformative experiences of the subconscious mind?
exactly, because it's like on the surface, you try to do humanitarian shit,
Mm-hmm.
regular human shit, but Scorpio is motherfucking
The
Lunar
killer.
Live Crew, Pornhub,
Mm-hmm.
videos, you know,
X videos. Yeah.
and it ain't nothing to do with mother and child and all of this shit. And we live in a world where porn is $1 trillion industry and
Mm-hmm.
marriage is $1 trillion industry. Like a motherfucker go to David's Bridals and the Lion's Den in the same day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'll get a wedding dress and then I'm gonna take her to the hotel room and fuck the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
We live
Mm-hmm.
in that world.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when we don't realize we live in that world. So it deals a lot with the moon and Scorpio and all of these particular nighttime things. Scorpio is also like drug dealing and things of that nature too. Like having a hustle hand.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't even know about that shit. A lot of niggas don't know shit about hustling.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of niggas don't know shit about getting pussy and all of these types of things. They just live on the straight and narrow above the water. And yeah, that's shadow. Scorpio is a lot of shadow for people
Mm-hmm.
because they would never even, and they'll look down on a nigga that have Scorpio placements. My Jupiter in Scorpio. I got Mars in Scorpio. So, you know what I'm saying? Scorpio in my third house.
That's probably how you say that too, because in other ways, how people look at the 12th house, they call it like the house on self doing, seeing certain subconscious acts and behaviors and like undoing them and working through them. Plus, it's just like sometimes the 12th house in a way and working with your subconscious mind can like be tough depending on what planets and how it's aspected.
12th house is tough because motherfuckers act like the Matrix is all that there is. But then that Matrix ain't shit. The 12th house is where you want to be. It's the last house. You want to be in Pisces energy. You wanna immerse yourself in Pisces energy because it's the ultimate of all truths. What's realer? What's better than emotions? Because motherfuckers will be like, you know how people be like, oh, women are emotional creatures. They have no logic, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, you ever had some good pussy?
Mm-hmm.
Was it logical?
Fuck no.
What are we talking about?
That was the most irrational shit ever in my life, nigga. The good pussy, nigga. Like,
Was the pussy logical? Was the pussy like, 2 + 2 = 4?
nah. That shit was total chaos, nigga.
All types of weird emotions going through a nigga brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ever be like, man, I don't even want to live without this. What is life without this? You ever get some pussy and be so grateful to God? Like,
Yeah, no cat though, no cat. Hey, sometimes you just get a blessing. You just I don't know where that
God, I swear to God.
You ever feel lucky up in some pussy?
you just be like, how?
If you like me, nigga, you felt lucky in some pussy and eating some pussy, nigga. Like if you like me, nigga, like I felt lucky eating that shit. You ever eat some shit that tastes so good, nigga? You like, I don't want regular food right now. Like, yeah, nigga, that's what you do.
Your Scorpio. So you took it there.
I'm there. I'm all the way there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hijack the conversation, bro.
Nah, you did it, gang. We just tell you how the astrology work. That's all.
Pisces is in my fourth house, though.
You said what?
Pisces is in my fourth house, though. That's where my intuition and my sensitivity come from.
And plus, you got Mars in there too right now. So like, you can expect all that hiding, and like Mars really not so comfortable there. So it is like, you know, really focus on aspects.
They hitting up against each other.
You said what, big bro?
They hitting up against each other.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when Mars being in there with Pisces, like that's. Says points to a deep emotional foundation, often linked with sensitivity and intuition.
Yeah, because like the fourth house is all really an aspect of self-care and emotions. So it's like really paying to that, how you really feel at home, how you feel it within yourself. That plays a deep part because your environment is going to play in that role for you.
My fault. I was too explicit. My fault.
You gotta get into like understanding how to maximize the home space, because it's not like I think and depending on where you live, right? But if you live like in New Orleans, you'll probably like more or less have a house that's like a temple. But when we live in the Northeast, we kind of condition our homes to be just homes where you just lay down and go to sleep and wake up and eat food,
more or less.
But really, Pisces being in the fourth house, your house should be more centered and set up to be like a temple, where
the house theme should be more altar-like, right?
More altar, more church, more
heavy feng shui.
Just nothing that reminds it of a house, because there's no reason to have a house, because your fourth house is in Pisces. So your fourth house is outer space. So if you condition your house to be a portal, then it is a portal. If you condition your house to be a house, then
I'm out of whack.
Yeah, you're not centered. You're not in your true essence.
So I'm supposed to dwell and sleep in outer space.
You're supposed to be on some Jesus shit.
Elaborate. What you mean by that?
Like when you come in the house, take your shoes off. No shoes in that motherfucker. Have the motherfucker.
Your house is a place of worship. Your house is a place of connecting to the subconscious. Because a lot of times we're figuring out how to build our business, connect to people. And the reality is we don't need to do it direct. We have to utilize the energy surrounded to and through the moon. So in where your house is at, your house is ruled by the fourth house because your moon is in Cancer. Cancer rules the fourth house. So your nighttime portal is your house. But in reference to your house being a portal, it's your responsibility to make it so. So when you walk in your house, your front room should be completely clear, because it's really just a place that people come in to get blessed or to get healed. That's what I mean by Jesus shit.
Okay. That's shit.
A lot of men that I talk to, I tell them that they need to set their house up like that, because a lot of men that I talk to are poleros. We just in a polero / shamans, but more leaning to poleros, and it's a way we carry ourselves that's above and beyond just being a regular nigga, you know.
Facts. It's like It's like the embodiment of having that shit on at every moment, but it's with your energy.
Just wearing white robes, or robes in general, like being more priest-like, being more magi-like, God-like, in a sense where people can see your essence and be like, oh, well, don't say it like, all right, come over. What I'm gonna come over for? I'm gonna pull some cards, do a meditation, might wash your feet off with water. I don't know, just whatever healings you got in your head, and you get your rep from that, because it's like the real Poleros in New Orleans. There's no billboards for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's word of mouth.
You gotta know somebody that knows somebody.
Know somebody that knows somebody, and you go into a nigga house. You walk in, you like, damn, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really. They more entrenched in the culture down there than we is.
Way more down there.
Yeah, and basically where the moon at within this card, that's the energy right now. So if your room kind of cluttered and you had a big belly today, you know why.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get to that place and we feel like we over a hump and we just want to break.
I mean, I live in a studio, bro. So it's not much room, period. You know what I'm saying? It's really the only room that I have that's separated from the actual room is my bathroom. So but that makes sense though, because right next to my bed is my altar. My moms and my aunts and my uncles sit on my altar and shit. But I also got, my office shit in there, my computers and my tables and all of that shit. So I understand what he's saying. Like, that shit got to be shifted. That's what's up, though. All right, what's next? What's next on the topic? Where we at? My bad, I ain't mean to hijack the conversation.
Go to the PowerPoint.
About that. Talk about this. What's going on in the world today? Tomorrow's a big day.
Yeah, Quincy passed today.
Indeed. Quincy Jones.
I mean, he's like one of the grandfathers of music. Period. Right?
Yeah, for sure. He a jazz, more or less, conductor, producer. He don't really get down with like instruments, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he was more on the production or writing side.
Being an arranger and a conductor and a producer.
Oh, so he worked with frequency.
Yeah, he like know what sound good versus knowing what sound bad. And it's like, I don't like the time. I know he's 91, and I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm
But the timing is weird though, right?
The timing is so fucking weird. And I know people when you 91, you transition, but
motherfuckers like you stole some years.
yeah, maybe he had 5 more left.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this dude has so much work. so much work, so much money, so much TV.
You're talking about like 6 decades, right? 7 decades.
Yeah, he started in 1953.
And how old was he?
2024. That's 70 years.
That's 70 years, bro.
Damn.
Damn.
And he was
I
on
feel
it.
like Kevin Hart when he did that to Eddie Murphy when he said, I'm about like 50, 55. He said, damn.
That's crazy. 70 joints, my nigga. Is there any spiritual implications that you see off of his birthday that might coincide with what we talking about today?
I mean, he transitioned today. He was born March 14th, 1933, Chicago.
What's that, Aries?
In Sidereal, that would be
You said March 14th?
yeah, more centered into Aquarius.
Okay.
Like Aquarius,
Yeah,
Pisces,
'cause Aquarius starts on February 8th, right?
something like that. It get weird in the sidereal time, but I'm pretty sure sidereal moving into Pisces. So Quincy Jones, he probably one of the greats of all time. So,
Mm-hmm.
the reality of spirit is like he ain't dead. So you got to tap into this energy. You got to listen to his music. You got to receive the downloads and work with his spirit, work with his energy, and ultimately, it's for the benefit. This man was a master. So when you understand his spirit in relation to the music, when you understand the connection of his spirit in the music and how they're connected, is we can access it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Lunar Conversations is opening up is to working with ancestors and spirits and working with the moon. And earlier today in the live, I was talking about the herbal alchemist handbook and how it gives you specific instructions how to work with the moon through herbs and incense and just through simple meditations and dream work. And like that's the goal that we want to center this in, because it's like we have a man that has a craft that's ascended, and we could tap into that to help us with our own craft. Like I'm not gonna sit up in front like I never try to hit up martial art deities and people. Like no cap. It's been the greatest type of dreams I have to try and build it through lucidity. Like we could build a lucid practice to be able to lucid dream. The type of life we'll have through dreaming and doing the work when we arise will be two different type of energies for ourselves, because it's going to be a place of where we're living it, then a place where we're bringing it forth. Especially if we're trying to live through the actions and learn how to take the steps through spirit, through dream work. I think, and I feel it makes a process funner and it's more development for yourself.
All of these things, there's gateways that pull you through in the matrix, and you don't have to. It don't have to be as hard as you think it is, or it have to be like sometimes people don't realize the type of music that you listen to. It mean all the difference, and the type of input creates the output. So listening to like certain CDs and certain frequencies, like Quincy Jones got a lot of albums, man, a lot of albums and a lot of music, and a lot of it is very abstract. So you got to start to ask yourself, it's a lot of jazz, a lot of shit that don't got no music, no words to it. What does this actually mean? And then, probably got there's some stories about Quincy Jones too. That's like not all the way positive and stuff like that. But once you transition, none of that shit matters. Can't nobody put you in jail or can't nobody condemn you. You just left with the work. So that also is, fuck how you feel. What was your actions? What did you do in this life? Because you can feel all day. Feeling don't get your name known. The work that you put in do, and really just centering in to like what your talent is, what your gifts is. Like you can listen to Quincy Jones, a jazz album, and get more work done than listening to some, Cardi B or Ice Spice or whatever the case may be, or whoever y'all
Yeah,
sexy.
stand up saying somebody in munch is crazy work. You want to sing it and repeat that all day.
Like learning how to tap in is really important, especially this remind me of like the panic in the Bobby Hemmett era when Michael Jackson died, right? And when Michael Jackson transitioned, they got full on channels. So, I mean, it's available. Tonight, dealing with the moon, working with the moon, reach out to him, talk to him, build with him. He will respond.
It ain't nothing to research and see what type of stuff spirits like to even give offerings and donate. You gonna hit it home.
The election tomorrow. How y'all feel about that?
Just another debate in the matrix, but just something just to really just understand and know what's going on, just to be aware, but not to argue with people. I just see a lot of arguments and everybody having too much diversity. Then people always and everyone really saying they don't even know what they even trying to bring or talk about. All they just know is people eating cats. And so
Yeah, this election cycle, I'm so fucking tired of this shit, man. I'm so fucking tired, man. I need it to be over. But I do have anxiety about it, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I have a certain level of anxiety about it too. I think it has more to do with just like you said, like just wanting the shit to be over. But at the same time, it's like we know that every time we go through this fucking political rigmarole, like there's always some weird shit that comes from it. So like I'm gonna have to blame that shit on being old, I guess. Just trying to figure out what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like, what haven't we experienced this far yet? I'm going into my 45th term, just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what haven't I experienced yet? You know what I'm saying?
it is. And me and my G Paul, we was talking about Bitcoin, and we was like, and I was getting to like, a lot of people saying it's gonna jump when Trump get in, and he was like, I feel like it's gonna do something no matter who get in the office. I feel like it's still gonna be there. Yours to take. They always make it seem like something's gonna happen with these things, and it never happens. It's always either money grows or people stay consistent and play with it.
Yeah, it'd be weird, but I feel like, if it's not today, it's gonna be soon or later. And just understanding the charts, understanding like different things associated with the charts, it make it easier to see what's taking place. Because if it go up or down, there's always opportunities to make money. If Bitcoin go down, you can sell it. If Bitcoin going up, you can buy it. But just understanding that as a collective is very key. Because who gives a fuck if it go up or down? It's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think that at some point, people would be gloomed out, right? Like, there's only two things you're getting online or from whatever device you choose to watch, right? It's either doomsday is coming or how much money you're gonna end up spending, right? It's never there's no in between anymore. It's just like um, this is what it is, accept it or move on. So I think the key component to all of this shit is completely divesting oneself emotionally from whatever outcome it is that happens. And two, like we talked about it a lot this week. Can you turn yourself into the observer, um, as opposed to emotionally investing in some shit that you probably couldn't change anyway? Um, yeah, it's. But I'm like exactly how you feel, Hood. Like I'm over this shit. I'm tired of it. Um, Country looks weird. Shit people doing within this country is weird. Um,
Tired
like
of motherfuckers talking about abortion.
yeah, like I didn't know we were fighting for women's rights. Like I didn't know that that was a thing. Like I didn't know that they had lost rights. But um, the jumping and cheering,
hooting and hollering.
yeah, for the right to kill a fetus is crazy to me. That's I'm sorry, unalive a fetus. That's crazy to me.
Nah, that shit is blowing my mind. And how deep motherfuckers articulate the nuances of the conversation.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right, man, that demon is full fledged, full force in charge of this election.
Mhm.
But cool. I don't feel one way or another. Y'all could have talked about fixing the roads or some shit, man, like y'all used to do.
Mhm.
School reform or taxing the poor, taxing the rich. Why y'all talking about this shit, man?
It's super weird, bro. Like you ever got chastised by an ex president before? Like niggas got chastised this shit. Like when Obama was talking, like I thought he was talking to his kids, bro. Like it gave me that feeling like he thought he was talking to his kids and shit. Like, hold up, hold up.
Yeah,
I
we
like,
gotta
you
we
know,
gotta be able to like not be pandered to,
yeah, yeah.
and it's two things, right? Who gives a fuck? Because what can we do one way or the other?
Mhm.
But another thing is that you know we catching hell in real life, and you can act like we not catching hell, and that's cool. But that's why you gotta have support system and have somebody in your life in your corner because life is real, life is tough, and you know demons is real, man. Antichrist is real, the rapture is real, revelation is real, the apocalypse is real. All that shit is not a coincidence that the Bible have been a book for so long, a
Mhm.
thing that niggas be talking about.
Mhm. It don't matter what year you look at, you got a reference to that shit in that book. Like, I don't care if we talking about 1901 or 2001 or 3001. It's gonna be a reference to that book. And if that don't tell you something, then
Like we in those times, and those times in reference to not to be scary, it means that you have to be strong spiritually. I don't know what it's like to not be strong spiritually. I'm not even fucking with people who not strong spiritually
hmm
in 2024.
hmm
Shit is real because you can't even talk to people no more about nothing
hmm
because it's an argument. In real life, people will argue with you
real fucking life, bro.
just talking. I get in arguments. I don't talk to people. I don't and I don't bother people because when I start to talk, motherfuckers use that as a a shoe-in to start arguing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure, I ain't trying to argue with no motherfucking body. Motherfuckers move preposterous out here. Like, you don't know that demons is real till they possessing motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. But you can't look at the shit that you doing and tell me that there's no demonic shit in there, right? Like, there is no way you look at the shit that you did and be like, no, that's good, I'm good. Like, there's no fucking way.
I've even brought it up to motherfuckers, and they be like, "Yeah, that is crazy." So
They keep it moving, right?
Hey, play what I just dropped in Discord. It goes what we talking about.
Yo, shit crazy.
you right, and
Yo.
like in this world, man, people, you be hard pressed to figure out if people actually give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
It's almost like people only give a fuck when other people find out type shit.
I'm getting it, AD.
You good. I know. Yeah, I'm. Reading the book Encyclopedia of Spirits. It's another one that talks about possession and certain things. I can't remember.
Get the Book of Egregores. That's an important book right there.
Okay.
The spirits and demonic entities is not just within people. Those shits are also sigils for different symbolic entities within existence. Like McDonald's is a motherfucking egregore. You know what I'm saying?
Do
Yep.
Do you feel comfortable talking about it, or I could recommend a mental health professional?
No, we don't want that.
Whenever we try to be intimate,
We have a physical reaction. Like
we're allergic to each other. I break out and
my stomach, it's ridiculous.
Okay, this is sounding more like a medical condition, not a spiritual one. We have an assessor I could get a reference from.
Actually, Father, I think it's better if the church do a thorough assessment before recommending a doctor.
Sister, I disagree. I think this is sounding more like a medical condition.
No, Leo, Amalia, this allergic reaction that you have, do you have any premonition of something dark?
what do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean, bitch?
Do you have a sense in your marriage of something demonic?
Sister, perhaps we should talk about this later.
Leo, Amalia.
That's why my mom wanted us to see you, Father. She said that you deal with issues like these.
Issues like...
This is what happened last time in bed.
Food allergy. I didn't do that.
I could feel fingernails clawing into me. We had to stop.
You don't have a pet?
No, and I didn't do it. It just suddenly appeared.
Help us, Father. We don't know what's going on.
I am delivered. Y'all need a fucking deliverance. You need to deliver your ass from that marriage. That's what
He's
it
like
is.
he's like the back of the head. She got the scratch in the shit.
That bitch got a tongue wagging from Baron Samedi last night, nigga. Like, yeah.
You really in a rock and a hard place in this world, man. You gotta really get your spiritual shit together, because most people you talk to and deal with, they gonna be on that shit.
Yeah, most are being led by something other than what they think is self.
For real. Whatever they got the fuck going on, and be like, well, what is that even about? I just enjoy it. I just like it. It's just what I'm like, all right. When was the last time you found peace within your heart? What you mean by that? Like, explain peace in your heart for real. Like, what is that? What do you mean peace in heart? Like, how much do that cost?
That is the most simplest term. You nigga like break that down. What?
What you mean? As a man, what is you actually talking about, Hood? You said you have peace in your heart. Like I heard that, and it just like I never.
Do I gotta get surgery? Do I need spiritual surgery?
How much that cost, Hood? Like I'll buy it. You got an installment plan? Like shit.
We gotta go on a retreat. The fuck?
Yeah, we gotta go to Peru, ashwagandha. Like what we gotta do, bro? Peace at heart. I don't even know what that even is, bro.
Yo.
Like really finding peace within yourself is real key with the moon and your emotions. Because a lot of people is doing a lot of shit because if they do nothing, they can't handle it. I've been doing these shrooms like on a nightly basis, just closing my eyes, nigga. Just like can't wait to get in the bed and close my eyes. I had to tell like I didn't even want to get no pussy last night. I was just.
You think it's the silence?
Real spiritual nigga right there.
You think it's the silence or maybe a combination with like
it was the vision, it was the visuals.
It
was the visuals. It was being able to like flex the darkness. And like move and create the dream from the darkness. Like it's like almost like it just was like imagination and darkness, and then I just seen like these flickers of light that I could like manifest visions with. So I've been just doing that. But yeah, that shit just been the coolest shit to me. Just closing my eyes, nigga. That shit been raw. Like I do like a couple pieces of chocolate and just be like for real. But it's different though. Like it's like finding the peace within myself because I've been having a hard time with that.
You think when I say the silence though, I was referring to you think the people that always have to be doing something have a problem with the silence? Or the
white noise,
or the just not doing anything.
You don't gotta do nothing for real. You don't have to do nothing. The phones, depending on how young you is, like if you grew up with a phone, you cook, bro.
No cap.
So fucking cooked. Like with my kids, I just stopped. No phone, no tech, no nothing. Cause fuck y'all. Y'all not about to ruin y'all brain for no reason. When y'all don't have to.
Especially when it's not even done developing.
It's not done developing, and when it comes to what we talking about, you can't do that shit because you need your phone. You need that stimulation. You need to notify yourself and be on Snapchat or TikTok and some shit like that, man. The phones is why motherfuckers don't always doing shit. Even the spiritual motherfuckers don't feel right unless they doing a fucking retreat or something.
Mad multitasking.
Spiritual motherfucker do nothing.
Mad multitasking and getting nothing done.
Predicting some shit or, cloud it up. Niggas gotta work out, show their body off. Like niggas is like, I'm talking about spiritual niggas, right? Niggas gotta be something and do something and have something.
And it's all a projected aesthetic, because they need they need the eyes and the attention on them in order for them to feel whatever it is that they need to feel.
But do you have peace in your heart? Do you have direction? Or do you have the desire to always want to be, right? It's human being, right? Humans always being somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because I know if I was like told that, you know, my brain ain't really fully developed yet, son, we got to do this and that for you, da da da, in certain ways and help you, you know, grow it. I would really low key move different, like as a younger, but like, you know, that's something that I felt like was not expressed to me a lot as well. And I'm thinking about that, but it's like not as a blame, but more as like I know I can still take advantage of it still.
That should make me think about Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake, that Holy Grail song when he's talking about fame. Fame is another egregor. So fame is actually a thing that, you know, a reason why people will do anything for that egregor. And we're seeing that in real time right now, especially with the evolution of TikTok and, you know, every other platform that has people feeling more and more comfortable by the day to do this all day, every day.
goofy shit, and niggas would be, and there's a niggas like on YouTube and TikTok going viral for being autistic or some shit like that, or just being a clown. You know, what's the one dude, Shamar? He would have never made it in Hollywood in the '90s. Now he bigger than goddamn Tom Hanks. Like this shit is crazy. But y'all made me think about the devil card and the third eye, but representing Saturn. And you know your Saturn return is where you actually come into your own. And that's so crazy because that whole time you be waiting for some shit to happen and it don't never happen. You like, damn, my life I'm a failure. I ain't gonna never be shit. And then it all hit you when you turn 28. And for a lot of us, we all almost get too far gone because we don't understand that brain development piece. Like nobody told me shit. Like my kids was asking me today. It was like, Dad, who taught you how to drive? I'm like, yeah, I just got in a car and I taught myself. And they was like, damn, Dad, you had to teach yourself everything. Like, but it's just so crazy because like I ain't even realized that ain't nobody was telling me shit to better myself. And it wasn't it ain't a good thing to have nobody not teach you nothing. Like
it ain't. That used to be a bragging point for niggas back in the day. Like, I taught myself everything. Word?
Yeah, I ain't have no damn.
That nigga's smart.
I mean, like people who like they trying to build something and they come with a whole instructions. They be disregarding the instructions, but I got it. I'm gonna just do it. Blah blah blah. And it's like, dang, right.
That's crazy.
You know, a whole machine that you never got or something. You know, you just disregarding the instructions because you know you think you know better than the person who built it. Took time and hey, to each his own.
But it's just like you don't know that when we turn 28, your career, your worldly success and social standing opens up for you. Right? We trying to get it 22, 23, 24. And the reality is you're not even that mature to even handle it or even know what it is. So a lot of times 22-year-old people, 24-year-old people, 26-year-old people, they don't even really want to even put the work in to get what they actually want. So it's like just really learning how to put the work in and knowing that by the time you turn 21, it's going to be easy makes a world of difference than you trying to manifest some shit right now. By the time people turn 28 in the Black community, their life is already ruined. They already got 4 kids. They already done been to prison. They already done gave up on themselves, been depressed, done did copious amounts of drugs that we're not told this. We're not Saturn represents the father. Capricorn represents the dad. And this is the part that, man, I wish I would have. And this is what I harp on with my kids every fucking day. I don't give a fuck. Fuck all of this woke, spiritual. Yeah, just let your kids do whatever, be whatever, whatever. No, fuck that.
Fuck that.
It's not my job as a father to let him do whatever he want to do. You got to put in that Saturnian Capricorn discipline in your child's life, especially your boy's life, because he will for sure ruin his life.
Hell yeah. Because, man, we know how to do meaningless things when we feeling lonely or empty or bored.
Man.
Men in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could waste our life away just playing a game.
There's a lot of niggas I know like that, man. I got a brother like that, man. That shit is whack. Got a cousin like that playing fucking video games. I mean, I play NBA 2K, don't get me wrong, but niggas be
you know what I'm saying? Like, it just be certain things, you just be like, damn, bro, it's like
niggas play that shit for 8 hours at a time. I just never even had the time to do that shit.
Yeah, that shit weird. That shit's super weird, bro. Like I think if I played that shit for an hour, I would be mad subconscious about it. Like, what are you doing? I'm not even gonna hold you. I will be mad subconscious about it. Like, and that's just me. Like, I don't judge people that do it. I'm just saying, like, bro, I just can't do it.
That's one of the reasons why I really started training, because it's like, you know what they say, in the way you live out your dreams and certain things you do, like the game. A lot of people living out some of their energy and shit they can't express. So it's like, when I got into, you know, the grappling shit, I was expressing and feeding certain things in me that allowed me to do more for myself and gain confidence. So it's just like, yeah, I still get into it, but it's like I left it alone because it's like, man, I got a better focus and like, shit, I'm doing it in real life now. Like, I love playing fighting games. I play 1,000 different fighting games to the point where it's like, I'm gonna just do it in real life. I'm fucking doing this shit, and now I do it.
Mm.
It's a living dream.
That's how I be with the having sex games. I play. Ain't no. It needs to be a having sex video game. I'm just putting that out there.
Is that a real thing?
Yes, it is.
It is. I was just pushing it.
That's wild work. That's like, Nick. That's like playing house, bro. Like, that's wild work.
Yo.
Niggas talk don't want to have that conversation about playing house, nigga. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talking about house all day with the kids. They were telling me how they've been playing house, and I'm just like, dog, the apple do not fall far from the motherfucking tree. Like, I ain't even, if I'm not around them, man, they be into some wild shit. That shit be getting on my nerves.
I just think about how many times I got caught, nigga. Just like, yo, I got a lot of shadow around that shit, nigga.
Little girls and little boys don't need to play together
at all, nigga.
All that.
Fucking talking about, can I sleep over? What? No, no.
All that, man.
Last thing you need is more time alone with a random kid. You don't get the fuck out of my face.
You know, and when I was younger, I never used to understand that why certain parents are so strict with their kids. They were like, nah, go in the house. Nah, you can't do this. And it's like, I get it. Like, nah.
They was kids too. And they know what the fuck they was doing when they was kids. So
it's true.
That shit ain't hard to tell, bro.
Yeah,
It's hard for us. It's hard for us growing up because we not in it. But when you become an adult, you be like, oh, now that shit makes sense. I remember the first time my kids went to go hang out at a friend's house, and boy, it wasn't an hour before I was like, yo, when we going to get them? Like, yeah, nah.
Next week, the moon gonna be in Aquarius, conjunct Neptune, conjunct Saturn, thereabouts. What would y'all give the collective to like prepare for this next week in reference to the moon sign?
Really?
Where you said it was going?
It's going to be in Aquarius next week.
Ooh. Ooh.
Really just making sure that you're giving yourself clarity into what you're doing, right? Make sure it's benefiting the service for you and others, especially if you got a product, if you're cultivating. But this is the time really like you get into learning yourself because the moon gonna be coming across 6 of Swords, dealing with, science, trying things from a different position. So it's like what you working on, what you got your mind to, but with that conjunction of Saturn, expect restriction, expect, a little mental blockage, but you can clear through that through journaling and understanding yourself with your moon in the aspect. Because I remember doing a reading for a person who had this aspect, and they always have hard times really expressing their deep inner self. It's just like it really burns them up. They want to say it, but they can't. And it's like they thinking about it, but they don't, but they not. So it's like deep journaling for this conjunction or this transit at that point is really going to be a benefactory to you, especially when you prepare for it. And it's like looking at this looks like a star. So that being in Aquarius is kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the whole pattern looked like a giant star.
Mm-hmm. Little pentagram.
I'm thinking about the isolation point though, because there's a lot of detachment that comes with that. So like, maybe if you are going to detach emotionally and sort of isolate yourself, maybe that is the time for you to get total clarity. Like to really be clear, like the brother said about what your intentions are, what it is that you are exactly doing, and which direction you're planning on going in. Don't isolate just to isolate. Yeah, I'd say that's a time for gaining clarity of the purpose that in which you are actually embarked on. Understanding why you're doing it. And being honest. This is all time for honesty, bro. You motherfuckers ain't been honest for 11 months. Like, you need to be honest right fucking Be honest, bro. Like, yeah, like, keep it a buck, man. Like, what's wrong with grown-ass people that can't keep it a buck, man? Something weird about that, bro.
Because they know the truth bring in the reality that should be there with the aspects of the words and the actions.
Any one given time, 3-4 times a week, you got 4 grown ass initiates that come up on here and we fucking put our fucking shit up for everybody to see, bro. Like, niggas is not over here showing y'all off in $3,000 apartments and doing all of this other shit. Like, we would love to be doing that, but we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like if we could keep it a buck 1,000 with y'all need to keep it a buck 1,000 with yourselves. Not with us, but with yourself. Yeah, I think it's a time for clarity.
Yeah, because that the moon on the 7 of Swords, utility. So you're gonna have all those things in your hands juggling. clarity is going. And clarity is always the best thing to really have.
Elucidate, motherfuckers. My bad.
No, you good, brother. You good, bro.
I would say, like, if you have any beefs, any like struggles going on, it's a good opportunity to like bring peace into it going into this holiday season. You don't want to go into 2025 with negative energy. And also, like getting into a quarter moon, do you understand your intentions, your new moon intentions? Did you set new moon intentions? How serious are you about manifesting what you set out to intend? Because a lot of times where we think we can't achieve it or things got to be a certain type of way, that's not necessarily true. Especially when we are working with certain energies and certain deities and certain spirits. You don't have to be smart, talented, or anything to just do this magic. So I would reference that to Aquarius and the star card, really sending out that energy, really getting down and dirty with your spiritual work. I can't stress that enough because it's going to be the thing that elevate you and shift your paradigm if that's what you want.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I don't know if a lot of spiritual people actually want to be spiritual people. Like I don't know how many. And this is total projection, so don't blame me. But I totally sometimes feel like um people just want to talk about this shit because it's the it thing to do at the time. But when it comes down to like that real bare knuckle work, like you know, sitting on the floor with just a cup of water and a candle, like um, I don't really know how people care about that. Like I think people care about spirituality as an aesthetic, but like I said, this is more projection than anything. It's just my silly opinion.
Yeah, man. I agree. So what we looking at for next week, AD?
Really jumping in to understanding houses. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it pretty cool, but just house rulers and just planetary rulers of the houses. So for the people who told their signs in the chat, you know what I'm saying, we might bring up maybe one or two people, have them talk about their moon if they're looking into it.
Wednesday, what we looking at for Wednesday, brothers?
Should be something at 6.
Talking about the president.
No, I'm talking about the initiates. I don't know what the fuck about that.
So it should be 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
I'm talking about the initiates next broadcast. I ain't thinking about that.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
I'm not trying to be depressed, bro. So I don't want to talk about nothing to do with politics, bro. Like,
yeah, but nah,
bro.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay. What about you? When you free that day, same time? That's what y'all want to do? 6? Y'all want to do an 8:30 joint, 8 o'clock joint or something? I know it's 2 days. It's 2 days from now. Hood gonna have 7 more jobs by that time. So
I take shit one day at a time.
One day at a time, player.
I don't even know, but I'm there. We'll figure something out for sure.
Yeah, but We're gonna be on consistent with the schedule, so y'all will be sure seeing us on Wednesday.
Apologize to the collective for us being so late today. You know, we do have regular lives. Unfortunately, those regular lives do bleed into the work that we do online sometimes, but we try to make it work. Appreciate y'all for the space. Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent, Flame On .shop, WhiteRabbitPsych.com. Yeah. See y'all in a couple of days.
See y'all soon. Thank y'all, family. AD_Senpai33. And make sure you really tap into your inner flame, flameon.shop. You know, if you want to take your elevation to the next step with your workouts or with your mind, tap in. And also, mastermind groups, be on the lookout as well. Join mastermind. We got Sunday coming up soon. You know, it's going to be coming like clockwork the way the time moving. So be ready, join up, and be ready to be accountable and hold down for your mission. Ashe.
Join the Discord. Everybody that put their moon sign on the chat, they can join the Discord, get into Lunar Conversations, put that into the Lunar Conversations chat as an introductory icebreaker and see if you find any matches. Just have conversations. Maybe your mama got a moon sign like somebody that you know, and just figure things out that way. But, you know, it takes you joining the Discord, joining the Lunar Conversations tab so we can have these conversations and just opening the door, being consistent, being an example, and just showing people how it works. It's cool to do it once in a while, but to make it worthwhile, to make it stick, you got to be consistent. So, for all that being said, man, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. We are the initiates for the flame. Make sure you keep your flame intact, and always remember, if you light another candle, it won't take nothing away from your candle. Everybody will be on fire. I mean,
Ashe.
You know what I mean by that.
Yeah, we
Initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?